A grade translation chart provides information about how the scale that I use will enable my students to earn a particular grade. I publish this at the very beginning of school, but we don't have time to discuss it until we complete at least 2 units, about 12 weeks of school. By that time, you're going to have an idea about how the system works. You'll have had enough assessments to see your progress, and will have developed a relationship with me to understand when I say it's going to work and you're going to be fine. I can adjust the scale up or down depending on the level of the course. I can also adjust it if I'm required to report grades more than twice a year. I need to keep this simple and easy to communicate. Regardless, because it's different, I'm going to explain this and help you practice using it and support you all throughout. This will enable you to take control, set goals, and work on any areas of weakness. This is the grade translation chart that I've been using in my honors physics classes. Note that the requirements are different than that of physics, as it's a more challenging class. The expectations of performance are higher. When interpreting this chart, keep in mind again that you're going to be earning scores in each of 10 practices. Let's look at a particular row in order to understand how to read this. In the 6th row, it says, any 6 standards at proficient level and with no standard lower than developing. This means that out of the 10 practices, a student who earns at least 6 of them at proficient or better, and nothing lower than developing, so no beginnings and no not enough evidences, that person will earn a B at the mid-year. At the mid-year, again, you've had 5 months of practice, but by the end of the year, you've had 10 months of practice, and therefore earning the same scores would be equivalent to a B minus. Again, note that it's easier to get a higher grade at the mid-year than at the end of the year, and this is again because students have had 5 additional months of practice by the end of the year, and therefore they should have improved from mid-year. This is an example of the performance of one student from my honors class over the course of the year. If you look across the top, you can see that the 10 practices are listed, and then down the first column, all of the units are listed. By the end of Unit 1, this student earned 5 developing and 4 beginnings. Good start. By the end of Unit 2, this student improved in 4 skills marked green to 2 proficient, 5 developing, and 3 beginnings. By the end of Unit 3, this student improved in 2 more skills marked green to 3 proficient, 4 developing, and 1 beginning. And you can see over time there was continued improvement, but it wasn't linear. There were several times that this student regressed, look in red, but almost always regained that level by the next unit. This is the same student, but we are now going to interpret her scores using the grade translation chart. First, note that the semester ended at the end of Unit 3. So we use the 3rd column of the grade translation chart for Units 1 through 3, and the last column for Units 4 through 7. I used the chart to assign grades in the last column with the semester change here. Notice that there's no grade assigned for Unit 1 because I didn't yet have time to teach them how to do using feedback. This means that I didn't have 10 scores, so I couldn't use the chart yet. But at Unit 2, I could. So this student would have earned a C based on her scores. By the end of Unit 3, she had brought it up to a B minus. Many students and parents might be upset by grades like these, but this is a time for a conversation. What can she do to improve? What is keeping this honors student from moving to a B or better? The fact that she has any practices still at the beginning level. Once she addresses that, she will be able to move up the ladder. That one beginning is going to keep her from moving up to higher brackets, no matter how great her other scores are. You might ask, why do we do it this way? I want my students to be well-rounded, to work on all areas without ignoring weaknesses. Besides, recall that developing means just to include relevant information, even if it's not fully fleshed out or even correct. Beginning is just trying. Should an honor student get a B simply trying?